are calling you, and you and thank you so much for coming today.
And all the attention is going to be on you. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for people to say, over and over again?
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. What's going on, family? You know who it is. Monica Sekhmet Grant, Young Boss Media, coming live from the bathroom. Just like BET, live from the basement. We in the bathroom. Yeah, that gets me hyped every single time. What's up, y'all? Coming live out of New York City. You know who it is. It's Young Boss Media, baby. Monica Sekhmet Grant here with another mentorship call, here to bring you great, amazing people that's going to uplift you, empower you. And if you are not getting gain from these interviews, that's on you. Don't ever say it. Don't nobody try to teach you something, because I'm bringing you powerful people every time, each and every time. And so before I get started into this interview with Mr. David I don't want to mispronounce your name. You just told it to me. But David Masson, a beautiful black man from Nigeria, amazing idea strategist. Just he's going to blow your mind, because I already got so many ideas and things that I want to talk to him about. So before I get there, I got to slow down, Monica. Slow down, Monica. Did y'all go and cop this new book? Did y'all cop this? Yes, that's your girl. It's my fourth book, Mind Your Business and Prosper. I've been talking to y'all about it for a minute. It is on the website. It is in flesh. It went from the mind, the idea, to manifestation, physical book, baby. All the game of my life. Maybe not all my life, but like building Young Boss Media. It's all in here, broken down into 13 chapters of things that you have to learn. And I had to learn the hard way, baby, so you don't have to learn the hard way. So Mind Your Business and Prosper is on youngbossmedia.com or also on Amazon. Make it easier for you, particularly if you are out of the country. You can get better shipping rates if you go to Amazon. So do your thing. Yes, it's finally here. I know y'all got tired of me talking about it, but it is here. It's here, y'all. So youngbossmedia.com. And then shout out to Shishi Inc. for this beautiful shirt. I know y'all saw it yesterday. I wore it yesterday on Make Lemonade, but I took it off. I ain't being nasty. I'm just wearing the shirt to make sure I represent my girls. Black Queen. Shout out to Shishi Inc. down in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. SC Baby Stillman College all day. So I got a lot of energy, but I'm about to pass it off to my man David, because he has all the information about how to start your business, how to get the money for the business. And Young Boss want to know where the money at. So David, come on to the platform. Welcome to the mentorship call. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much for inviting me to join this incredible show. And you've been doing incredibly well. Of course, I've been following the show, and you've been making some great impact globally. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Well, I read your bio, and I didn't do you any justice in that intro. So I'm going to let you explain to the world who you are, because you do phenomenal work, and we're just phenomenal together. So it's just a great day. So go ahead and tell us about who you are, Mr. David.
Okay, David is an idea strategist, an entrepreneur, an angel investor, and you can call me generally a catalyst. And I'm committed to helping entrepreneurs develop their digital business models, help develop growth channel strategies, as well as raise funds for their businesses. But most importantly, I run a company called First Founders Incorporated, which is focused on building and incubating the next big digital startups from Africa, basically. And we have an incubation program where we identify or discover young, talented, enterprise or entrepreneurs who have ideas and want to take the ideas to market in solving, very major problems. So we help develop these ideas and help develop the technology applications for the ideas, and then develop the growth strategies that take these ideas to market, as well as find the funding that they need, and which also kind of transcends into mentorship and several other support that enable them have the needed experience within a period of time to deliver that value to the marketplace.
Amazing. So our people globally, are great at coming up with ideas. Like, we can just do that just on a drop of a dime. I got an idea about this. Would you ever think about this? I hear that all the time. How do you help somebody take an idea to manifestation? Like, what is the step process?
Okay, so first of all, ideas are metalingual in nature, and sometimes we get this inspiration, with an idea, and you just want to take the idea to market without having to understand that every idea first, is came because it's going to solve a problem. So every idea comes from a problem point of view or a pain point of view. You understand? So once this idea kind of pops up, you want to first associate. This idea might come from a eureka moment, from experience, from the deep research, or from a gap that you have identified, and you think that an idea, or you have an idea that can solve that gap problem. So first things first, you have to conceptualize that idea. And there are three basic stages to developing that idea. We have the conceptualization stage, we have the commercialization stage, and then we have the actualization stage. So the conceptualization stage kind of comprises of you identifying the job that the idea will do. One of my professors in Harvard Business School, Clay Christensen, may so rest in perfect peace, is the father of innovation, as I so call him. He has this principle, this idea of jobs to be done. So every idea has a job to be done. There's a problem that idea is trying to solve in the marketplace, and it is that problem or that job that idea will do that we command the market to kind of find you. And that is where you can design your revenue strategy from. That is where you can design your value proposition from. That is where you can determine the kind of market. That's where you determine the kind of suppliers you need to be able to, get the business model very functional. You get. So in the development of all of this idea structure and all of that, there are three important components that an entrepreneur must, quickly, identify. One, what problem is that idea solving first? And then
Right.
to whom is that idea targeting? Who is it targeting? What is the market of that idea? And then again, you have to come back, what is the value proposition of that idea? Because you cannot solve a problem without delivering the value. So how are you going to create and capture and deliver that value is now the solution that you will be able to identify from that problem point. So those three key things are important. So you must, if you draw it in a kind of cycle, you have the problem, you have the market, and then you have the solution. Now the problem is somebody is lacking something. You understand? Or a group of people is lacking something, and then now if you provide that thing for them, you have solved that problem for them. So now they will go after that thing. You understand? So we're able to connect that three. The rest wouldn't be a problem. So those are key pillars of conceptualizing your idea. But after you've conceptualized that idea where you identify the problem is solving, the market, as well as the value proposition, you move on to the next stage, which is commercialization. So that is where you begin to determine the pricing of that idea. You begin to determine the cost of investment in that idea. How much money will you need? How much and what investment will you need to be able to develop the product? And that is where you have the product design. You have the if it is a tech startup, that's where you have the technology application development. When you're talking about the manpower that you will need to run that idea. So you put all of those costs in place, and then you also will now determine the final product cost, based on all of these things. So those are the areas of commercialization of that idea. So once you're able to get that right, you can now determine and say, this is the market analysis for this product, and this is the kind of traction or this is the market size of this product, and this is the kind of traction that we want to target once we get into the market. And all of these things fall within the commercialization, segment. And until you get that right, you might not be able to deploy that idea, because until you're able to get this right, you'll now be able to move to the next phase, which is the actualization stage, because that is when you have a tangible product and an expecting market. Because the truth is that your market has to be expecting your product. You understand? And that idea has gone through a process of just an idea to becoming a product that is now delivering a specific value or a combination of value to the target market. You understand? So those are basically things that I will say to anybody who's got an idea and how you can actually go about it.
Thank you so much. So clearly you got an MBA, you went to Harvard Business School. What about people that did not go? Because I now went to business school. What about people that did not go to business school and they're like, well, where do I even start?
Okay, to be honest, I do not have an MBA with Harvard Business School. I just have a certificate in disruptive strategy from Harvard Business School. But I am I continuous learning is one of the driving force for me as Nigeria strategist. In Nigeria, where I come from, I discovered myself when I was 17, and that was when I knew that I am born to be an idea strategist. You can give me an idea, and I can develop the strategy that can make that idea become a reality. Simply because I've read series of books online, I've read series of physical books that I've got to buy, and I had to develop myself. But the truth is this: you cannot develop an idea without some basic knowledge, and which is why I
Right.
said, you understand that an idea will only become possible because you've done some research about that idea. You cannot just come up with an idea and just dash into the market and think that that idea will blossom without having sufficient information about that idea. What problem is it solving? Whose problem is it solving, and in what way is that problem being solved, and how are you going to innovate, you understand, with that problem, that solution, you understand, to be able to get to the next level? What kind of market strategy will you put in place to make that idea become appealing to the target market that you are trying to reach? So all of this, and you need to understand that consumer experience in itself changes, consumer culture changes. You understand? So once you have an idea, you need to understand the kind of mindset that that idea, is targeting. Now, that is when it evolves, and you need to understand that, see, it's not just about the idea, but you need to understand that an idea must evolve to becoming a product, and from product becoming an experience. You get? So I can build that again: idea, product, and experience. So it is an idea from the beginning, but it becomes a product, and that product now becomes an experience. That is where you can build loyalty and own your market. You get? And I tell people, I said, once you are developing your idea, the people, they say, we're taking your idea to market or taking any product to market. You consider the 4 P's of marketing, which is promotions, product, price, and place. But I said those 4 P's have changed. It's now platform, people, paradigm, and the product. You understand? You understand? You
Say that
must learn
again.
to.
Say that again.
It's now platform,
Yeah.
people, paradigm, and products. You see that the
Paradigm.
product comes
Right.
last.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand? So you must learn to understand that your idea is about people. If you do not go ask questions about their pain point, the fact that you've got an idea does not make that idea become credible in the minds of the people that you're targeting. So without an MBA, it is just common sense to understand that, oh, I've got an idea, but who is this idea for? Let me go and ask them questions and see how best they want me to deliver this idea to them. Because at the end of the day, the idea is not yours. You are putting that idea out to solve somebody's problem, but it just dropped in your mind as a form of inspiration or as a gap opportunity that you want to be able to use to feel, to make impact and profit from, sort of. You understand? Either economically or from a social point of view. It could be social impact idea that you want to use to solve a community problem. You understand? Or a social problem. So the truth is, at the end of the day, you need to understand that you need to reach out to the people that this idea targets. Again, there is a refrigerator company in India called Chococool. Chococool owns about say 25% of the market, but they realized, and they were so made, they had so much money, but they realized that, how do we have so much money, and at the end of the day, we don't still own this market at 100 or even at 80%? That means that I see a lot of opportunity. So they commissioned a couple of people to go, research the market to find out the other markets that have not been buying their product, to find out what exactly they need. I mean, what exactly they are buying. So they went on this research and then realized that, the Indian communities, or in India as a whole, comprises of the elite and peasant farmers, and people at the lower level of, of the economy, basically. So, but then this is it. They found out that the people who are not buying their fridges or their refrigerators are people who spend most of their time in the farm. And since they spend most of their time in the farm, they cannot derive experience from a big refrigerator, because they cannot carry that refrigerator from their houses to the farm, even though they like to take cold water. You
Got it.
understand?
Yes.
So
Yes.
and that brought about the idea of creating a solar based, fridge that is carryable from home to the farm.
Mm-hmm.
And so Choktoku now had to create something very portable that the peasant farmers can move from their houses to the farm and still have the same experience of cold water. You understand? An easy way. And they were able to eat, I mean, have a higher chunk of that market at the end of the day, and that increased their revenue share. You understand? So you realize this is the lessons to pick from this. Now they realized that they were doing well, but they found out that there is still an opportunity, but they had to reach out. So when you have an idea, you need to reach out to the targets that you think that idea is meant for. So this has nothing to do with MB or not. It's just for you to understand that there is a development process for every idea. You don't just have an idea as an entrepreneur and hit the market with the idea without having to research or finding out from the market, which is the reason why in your pitch deck, there is a word called traction. In that traction, you can actually develop traction from three perspectives. One, those who intend to buy your product, who have made a commitment. Why? Because the investor will understand that you have spoken to the investor, I mean to that target market. So you know your buyers, you know your customers, and your customer has a demand or an intending demand for your product. That is the first level of traction. The second level of traction is actual buyers who have bought your product and like your product. So you just want to scale the number.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And then the third phase are those who have bought your product and are willing to promote the usability of that product to more people. You get? So now, if you look at it, let me take it from the first. Even if you have not gone to market, but you have spoken to people who have already made a commitment that they will buy your product because it is going to solve a problem for them. In fact, these people can pay you ahead because they already have an anticipation that your idea is going to solve a problem that is a
Mm-hmm.
pain point for them.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So pretty
Yes.
much as it is, I mean, as an entrepreneur, developing your idea is not just about putting it on paper, developing a fantastic business plan. It's about going out there.
And doing the research and finding out
Exactly.
from your targets. Got it. Got
Exactly.
it.
You get go ask questions, and it mustn't be from 150 people. It mustn't be from 1,000 people. It's just from even 10 people who have similar answers.
Mm-hmm. 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 Because if it's just in your head, then it's just a product for you. You don't really know if anybody else wants it. So let me ask you this. Did you freeze on me?
You
You there?
understand? So that means
Okay.
you can scale. It means you can scale the number, and that is what it
Mm-hmm.
means. You understand? So entrepreneurship from a very small scale, can grow if you have strong clarity. You understand? Gary Hoover, one of the original thinkers of the 20th century, wrote a book called The Hoover's Vision. And he highlighted four
Mm.
strong points. And he said, if you have to run a business, apart from exploring, you understand your market, it's important that you run on these four pillars. You must have a purpose for your idea. You must have a vision for the idea. You must have
Mm-hmm.
clarity for the idea. And then the fourth is you must be consistent with your idea. But he said, but the most important is clarity, which is why you see certain entrepreneurs develop the ideas because they have a very strong clarity about the market gap, about the market size, the target market, and exactly the kind of innovations that will drive the idea. You see them very confident in their small stage because they know they will grow.
Mm-hmm. 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 So what
You
happens next?
get, but that's
Once once you have all of the research done and you know that there's a need and demand, we talked about pitch deck. Now, understand a lot of people that are watching right now, they don't know what a pitch deck is. So, like, be granular. Like we're having a great business conversation, but you got to break it down for folks that's like, yo, I'm on the street hustling. We talking to street hustlers. You feel me?
all right,
Like,
good. So
yeah.
I got you. I got
Thank you.
you. So a pitch deck is let's call it a mini business plan that documents your idea, in very simple terms to enable you yourself, one, understand your idea and kind of keep working on the idea. Two, it enables investors to have a first interface with your idea to understand the journey with your idea and what exactly you need to make your idea become a reality. Yeah. And even the pitch deck is also a document that you can use to help build your team. in terms of
Mm-hmm.
vision building, product building, and all of that with your team. So, and it's usually it's often not more than say about 9 pages to 13 pages. But I often advise that the smaller the pages, you understand, the stronger and compelling your value proposition. Because if you're able to
Mm-hmm.
capture your idea in those 9 pages, it means that you have a very strong communication strategy, but not just communication strategy, but you have a very great value that you want to offer. You understand your idea. So, and it begins with solution, the problem you are trying to address. What is the problem? The solution. Then what is the product around that solution? That can be a subtopic. Then you have strategy, you have your market. And the market is often, it often comprises of the market validation, the
Mm-hmm.
market opportunity. And even if there's a market gap, you can also highlight that. And then you also highlight innovation strategies. It talks about your financials, especially your 1 year financial goal. How are you going to grow? How much are you going to make? You understand? In your first 1 year. And it mustn't be something very bogus. It's just something very simple, just to give some sort of
And
direction
realistic.
to the investor. You understand, being realistic. And then you have your traction. You get in your pitch deck, you must also have a traction, which kind of helps determine the market you're trying to enter into. That have you interfaced with them, or are they
Mm-hmm.
already buying your product? You
Mm-hmm.
understand? And then we have the part of the amount you need, your team, you understand, and then your team and the team profile. Because investors, angel investors especially, look out for three things when they are looking at your pitch deck. They look at your value proposition, what problem, what solutions you've got, the innovation around it. They look at your team, what is the capacity of the team to be able to deliver on the value that you want to take to market. And then they also look at your finance. What is going to be the money situation in terms of your revenue structure. They want to be able to understand that you have a consistent revenue structure to be able to sustain, the business. They look at other things, but these are three critical areas that angel investors will look at when you have developed a pitch deck. I have a material. I did a presentation one time on pitch deck development. I can send that to you, and you can share with viewers who
Please.
are watching this.
Yes.
You know, yes, I will. I can share that with you, and then you can share with them um, through their contact and all of that. So that's pretty much what the pitch deck is about. You know.
So let me pick up from there. So explain to people, what is an angel investor and how do I find one?
Okay, so luckily for me, I'm sure you're also a member of the World Business Angels Investment Forum. So I am an international partner with the World Business Angels Investment Forum, and which is a large community of angel investors who are all promoting financial inclusion and investment across the world. But who is an angel investor? As much as we have an angel investor, we have the venture capitalist, we have, the sources, the areas where you raise from, the people that you raise funds from are in this category. And I just want to kind of explain more before I define an angel investor. You can
Mm-hmm.
raise funds from your personal savings to start a business. You can raise funds from your 3 F's that I call family, friends, and your foes. You can raise funds from
I
from
heard
angel
that.
investors. Yeah, sure. So you can raise funds from angel investors, and then the venture capitalists and private equity,
Mm-hmm.
private investment companies, and all of that. But the focus now is angel investor. An angel investor is the person who first believes in you. He believes in you and gives you money, or what I call it seeds money into your idea. You understand? And it's not just particularly interested in, yes, of course, he wants to make returns, but it's not particularly interested in shacking you up or shark tanking you.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
understand?
Right.
So he wants you to be able to, he wants to see how the idea grows and how it generates revenue, and wants to go through the journey with you, providing mentorship, providing his own experiences and expertise to be able to help you grow beyond just giving you money. I've been able to raise funds for a couple of businesses in Africa, and a lot of these angel investors are more like, you know what? We believe in Africa, so let's put the money in. Let's see how it works. I'm willing to take them on a journey of learning and to help them to understand the terrain of the market. I'm also for the fact that if they are able to do well with this first phase of this money, then I can now confidently go out and raise more money for them. So an
Mm-hmm.
angel investor is that person who gives you, angel fund.
Got it.
That's what they
Got
call
it.
them, investors. They are angels who come around to help you, and
Got
that's
it.
what angels do literally.
And so someone watching this, if you've seen Shark Tank, it's very similar to that. What the people are doing is they're pitching themselves to the sharks.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So the next question is, well, how much would you want to give, like, to an angel investor? Because there has to be an exchange, right? So what is the relationship between the angel investor once they give money?
Okay, fine. The truth is, it varies.
Mhm.
I often sign a document called a simple agreement for future equity with all of my investors that invest in businesses, in Nigeria and some part of Africa. And this in the simple agreement for future equity, which is also called SAFE, was first propounded by Y Combinator, which is a document that kind of help to do a pre-valuation, of your business, and then they give you the money, and then there's going to be a post-valuation afterwards, maybe say a period of 1 or 2 years.
Mhm.
And this post-valuation, we now kind of by then your business would have increased in valuation, and that valuation you can now sell equity to the investor, to the angel investor at a discount. So, say for example, if your business was originally valued at say $100 from pre-valuation stage, and the investor gives you $2,000 as seed investment or angel investment, and then maybe say after 2 years, your business is now worth valued at say $20,000, and that means that one share, 1% of that company, is about 200, or no, 10% will be $200. No, that 1% will be $200.
Mhm.
So you can sell that to 1% at a discount of 50%. Well, it would have been stated in the document from the beginning. Say, okay, when I get to my post valuation stage, I will sell my shares to you at 50% discount. So the angel investor, for believing in you while you are selling to other investors for $200 per percent, you will sell to the angel investor at $100 per percent.
Got it. Got it.
You understand? So the
Mhm.
angel investor buys the number of shares that they want with what they've invested in, and plus maybe additional funds and all of that. It is a very good way to just show the leniency of an angel investor when it comes to this. Because if your at pre-valuation your business is $100 and I'm giving you $2,000, then as an angel investor I automatically own the business.
Yeah. 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 For
Yeah,
sure.
you understand. Good. So, but angel investors have come to understand that, okay, we can actually give room for them to grow. So
Mhm.
we can operate with them at the point of growth, not just because we feel that the money is the most important thing, but growth is also very important.
Mhm. Mhm.
You understand? So all of that kind of gives some sort of security.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so I've done my pitch. I've got an angel investor on board. What is the next? You said like a 1 or 2 years. What is the next 1 or 2 years? How do you actually coach the person on how to spend that money? Because what I'm imagining is somebody could come into like the next, $100,000 of an investment. How are they responsible for that money and making sure that the company does grow with that investment?
Okay, so angel investors who invest through incubators, like my company, for example,
Hmm.
you know, have the exclusive opportunity of, or we, that is the company, dedicating account managers to each of the businesses that they invest in to help manage their portfolios in that business, and also provide guidance to how the money is being deployed into the business. So we help to go through all of those processes. That's why we are on ground locally to provide that service to the business. So it pretty much looks like we are protecting the investors fund, but at the same time we're also protecting the entrepreneur from not making mistakes, which is why we
Hmm.
are providing expertise, expert advice, and knowledge and insight to ensuring that they do the right thing. You get what I'm saying? So, but then on the other hand, entrepreneurs that are very serious and focused, when they receive money from an independent investor, angel investor, without an intermediary monitoring them, it is expected that they keep their integrity in business. And I always will say that if you're an entrepreneur and you truly want to make impact and you are visionary enough, you won't mismanage funds given to you.
Hmm.
You are even going to see the fund given to you as an opportunity to be grateful
Hmm.
and to be very committed to your business, to ensuring that you deliver the kind of value, or you deliver on the value, on the promise that you have highlighted in your pitch deck to the investor. You
Really, because
understand?
you put it all in your pitch deck. So follow through in your pitch deck, and also just build the relationship with your investor and with the
Ex-
incubator as you
Exactly.
go. You just don't take the money and run.
Exactly. A lot of people want to do that, but I mean, at the end of the day, you realize that such businesses die because, hey,
Mhm.
there's already a wrong motive
Right.
from the beginning. So the drive is lost, but those who truly are committed to the vision, and that takes us back to what entrepreneurship really is. Is entrepreneurship really about just solving problems, you know, for people, or it's about trying to deliver on purpose?
Hmm.
And with first founders, we try to teach our entrepreneurs that we try to teach them visioning. We try to teach them the purpose for which they exist and why they have to translate that purpose to their businesses. So for every time you wake up, there is a why. You have a reason why you wake up. You have a reason why you have to make a decision. You have a reason why you have to make that choice. You have a reason why you should not even compromise, or even if you have to compromise, there should be a reason. There is a why. So the why should be the reason why you must do things in an appropriate way.
So let me ask you this, and so this is probably going to go into what you're saying right now. But what makes the best pitch? Because I've been to pitch presentations and some are great, some are not. Some are like, oh, that's a great business, but from the wrong person. From the training perspective, what makes the best pitch?
Well, in all honesty, what makes the best pitch is the person driving it.
Hmm.
I've always said that a lot of people have very brilliant ideas, but most often investors also invest in people,
Right.
not the businesses. So who are you? What are you doing? What do you believe in? How much passion do you have about that business you're trying to push? Entrepreneurship is not just about the ideas, it's about the people, it's about the problems, it's about purpose, it's about trying to make the world a better place. It's
Hmm.
about, it's about committed to improving the state of the world.
Hmm.
And if you position yourself in that manner, then you have the great pitch in the first place because you're going to have drive. And for
Hmm.
me, which is the reason why I always will say that you can have a very beautiful idea today, but you can lose out on that idea in another 10 days because disruption is going to happen. But when you have drive as an individual, before disruption happens, you have seen it because you are constantly thinking about that idea.
Talk about disruption.
Yes, I mean the world has changed. Technology has changed things. And if you look at today's business world, you will see globalization, has taken over, the business terrain. I can be in, Liberia and do business in America. I can be in America and be doing business here in Nigeria. You
Hmm.
understand? So, and that's globalization. And this is because change is taking over processes, systems, and everything. So, disruption is at the heart of our existence and culture today in the world. And if you are not thinking very fast, if you are not constantly watching out for where the odds are, disruption just might take you off the ground. You see how traditional business models began to die because they became too comfortable in the success of their traditional success.
Hmm. Yep.
Digitization changed the entire process, of their business, and they were just wallowing more and more in that state of comfort. While other small businesses that have thought ahead and are proactive with technology began to take over, the same market space that they were existing in. So disruption is when change happens.
Hmm.
You understand? But oftentimes it happens before it becomes obvious, which is why as an entrepreneur, we need to keep our nose down and begin to sniff the ground and see what is actually smelling from underneath the ground before it surfaces out,
Hmm.
because these things are there. Consumer mindset is changing on a daily. Technology, our mobile phones and all that is changing, by the day, and the rate at which, technology is changing our work life, is changing how we consume and all of that. I mean, all of these things kind of affect our business. So I think one thing every entrepreneur must learn to do is to put innovation at their heart.
Hmm.
You must learn to be thinking differently every day. You must keep looking at your business model, what is working and what is not working in this. Even if your business is working, your model might have started failing.
Hmm.
You understand?
Yes.
So you have to understand that when you are succeeding, there are things that are already failing in that success. It's just going to be a matter of time because your today's success was as a result of yesterday's efforts. Your today's enjoyment in business is a result of yesterday's disruption that you were able to take on. You understand? So you need to now begin to become more futuristic in your thinking and say, what about tomorrow's success? What is disruption for it today? Do I need to remain comfortable in this profitability or revenue generation in my business for today and feel that tomorrow holds no future for my business?
Right.
Sometimes, in trying to think about disruption in itself, it may require that you begin to think about an independent business model by the side that complements the traditional model that you have got, because with time, the independent business model will kind of swallow the traditional business model. But what it would have been a smart thinking for you, because you have thought ahead and you have created that independent value stack to cater for the future when this other business is going down. So what happens is you transition your customers into a new culture, which was why I talked about platform, people, paradigm, and product. The dynamics around this is that you must learn to always keep your customers on the platform and make them understand that what is important to you with your customer is the relationship you are building, is how you are engineering their mind to understand that it is not about the product that you are selling to them, but it is about the possibility of the future that lies ahead, which is one thing that Apple does sustainably. You understand? Apple does this sustainably. Apple makes us understand that they are not selling to us a machine, but they are selling to us a lifestyle. And
Yes.
for every time we want to sustain that lifestyle, we think about the machine. We want to buy that product because the product is galvanizing that lifestyle, is helping us to propel that lifestyle. And because we are driven by dreams and anticipation and expectations from the Apple promise, we keep they remain very loyal to the Apple brand. And that is exactly what every entrepreneur must think about. So now Apple team is thinking constantly, how do we meet with the expectations of our people? They are not saying that, how do we design the next product for our people? What are our people thinking? And how do we meet that expectation? So now consumers are thinking, Apple is definitely gonna do something that meets my expectation. That is where innovation comes in. They
Right.
began to think differently. They began to think more objectively and more on a visionary note. So all of these things serve as key constituents to ensuring that disruption is being sustained as we move along in business.
It's an expectation for Apple.
Yeah.
Awesome. So one, I want to thank you so much. Tell us a little bit more about the First Founders and how we can find out more information if we want to get involved. If somebody wants to, if they're in Nigeria and they want to be a part of this, how do they get involved?
Okay. First Founders, like I said, is we are a digital enterprise building and incubation company, and what we're basically right now doing is incubating the next big startups. So, and we are working from a talent point of view. So we recruit talent every year. We are going to launch our next program, our First Founders incubation program, in the next 2 months. But right now we are kind of just selecting entrepreneurs who email us, and we are working on their businesses. We started First Founder about 3 months ago, but I personally have been incubating business. Yes, we've been incubating business, but First Founder just started 3 months, so we are pretty much in our development state. But nevertheless, we are doing pretty well. We raised funds for a couple of people last month, but more sequentially, what we're doing right now, we are looking for exceptional enterprise talent that have digital enterprise ideas, that we can take to market. Our commitment to them is to develop them as entrepreneurship and as entrepreneurs and as leaders who will help develop their ideas. We develop the technology application of that idea. We will develop their market and growth channels and strategies. And then we provide the fund. We look for funds for them to invest in that business, and we provide a mentorship over a period of time until their business is matured enough, to make them become alumni. So it's like we are grooming entrepreneurs that will become alumni and that will be running the next big digital startups that will transform Africa in the coming years. So if you want any information about what we're doing, you go to www.thefirstfounders.com. www.thefirstfounders.com. And that our Instagram handle is The First Founders. on Instagram, and you can find same on all social media. So, but basically, that's what we do.
Thank you so much, David, for your time and for the business lesson. I hope y'all got a lot out of this. And I was asking you these questions because here in America, when we speak about entrepreneurship, we're not having all these pitch conversations. And so, at least within the Black community, and I speak directly from the Black community. When I say I'm American, I'm Black American. I'm from the hood. I'm from the streets. I will fight somebody if need to. So that's where I'm centered. And so I ask questions directly because I know when I'm in the hood, we know a lot of entrepreneurs, but they have no clue what a pitch deck is. They have no clue what investors are, or if my investors sold drugs. My original investors were the streets, from the cats from the streets that said, like, sis, I believe in what you're doing. Here you go. And so as I became, deeper into business, that's when I discovered all of these different realms of investment and pitching and things like that. And so I always try my best to bring it back and make it extremely granular, because it's not in our community. It's not in our education system. And when I do go to these events, I might be the only Black face in the room, or the only Black woman, or the only young person in the room, So I always want to break it down, because, like, I'm speaking from the hood. I'm not speaking from any other place.
I'm from the hood myself, man. I grew up on the street. I made my first 3 million right from the street at age 23. You understand? So I mean, I understand what you're talking about. So I'm of the hood too, man.
I love it. I love it. And we can make it from the hood, but we got to know, like, all right, when we talking to the hood, like, we got to break it down, for the folks that, because I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be in the rich neighborhood by myself. I want my people to come with me if possible. You got to do the work, but we got to make it possible. So I truly appreciate the information that you shared with us, and then just the work that you've done, so far. Like, had you not done the work to get here, we wouldn't have been able to have this conversation. So thank you for the work that you've done.
I appreciate so much. I appreciate a lot, man. Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
I look forward to more of this, man.
Absolutely. We're going to keep building. We're definitely going to keep building. And, however we can help each other in between. And definitely after COVID, I'm coming to Nigeria. So we'll be seeing each other soon. But until then.
I'm looking forward, man.
you got to show me around. You got to show me a good time. I appreciate that.
Most definitely. I'll be pretty much on ground for this, man.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David. Take care and be blessed.
You're welcome. Bye.
Peace.
Yeah, peace out, man.
That was amazing. I hope you learned something great, and definitely go back and dig everything that he was saying, because he spoke fast, but I didn't want to slow him down, because everything that he was saying was on point. And so from idea to manifestation to getting funders, what is an angel investor? What is a pitch deck? He broke down how to put a pitch deck together, what needs to be in a pitch deck. He gave a lot of information in these 43 minutes. So please go back. If you are looking to raise money, go back and research. That's what it was all about, research. So that's my time. It's your girl, Monica Sekhmet Grant. Thank you for watching. Peace and love to wherever you are.